Emotionally detaching from someone can be a very important step in taking care of your own well-being. This is especially important if you are trying to detach yourself from a romantic interest, someone you were dating, or someone that you were in a relationship or even married to. I want to share with you guys 7 ways that you can detach emotionally from a man. Let's go. Hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Kiaundra. I am your host, licensed marriage and family therapist, Kiaundra Jackson. Now, before we get into these 7 things, I want to remind you that these 7 things are not exhaustive. There are other ways that you can detach and get over a man. But for the people who are struggling with where to begin, this list is a great starting point for you. Now, before we get into it, I need for you to comment below, why do you think it is so hard for women to emotionally detach from a man? I want to know. And while we're here, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and even share this with a homegirl who might need it. Before we get into the meat, I want to give a little extra disclaimer / side note. Please do not confuse emotionally detaching from someone as the same thing as ignoring or suppressing your feelings and emotions. But think about this way as a healthy way to detach, pull away, and get over this man. So number 1, the first one is practicing stillness. Some people might call it meditation or whatever you want to do. I started with this one because it is important for us as women to learn how to calm our mind and tap into our thoughts and our feelings and become aware of them. Now, because God created us as emotional beings, and I'm talking about real emotional at times, it's important for us to not get all caught up in our head and our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions. And oh my God, he said this that one time, and then he told me that he loved me, and I can't even believe that. And girl, blah, blah, blah. We will go down the freaking downward spiral. Man, will we go down a downward spiral? So it's important for us to get rooted, to get grounded, even if you just have to sit still. There have been times where I have literally sat on the floor of my house and just sat there, closed my eyes, took some deep breaths, and figured out what I was feeling internally, figuring out what I was thinking, and realizing that every thought and every feeling that I feel is not always valid. Sometimes we get caught up not understanding that every thought that we think or everything that we feel is truth. Some things are not. Some thoughts that you have are not true. Some feelings that you have are not valid. And so you have to be able to challenge your own thoughts and feelings at times. And sometimes our own thoughts and feelings be irrational. So just make sure that you are in a place where you understand what you're feeling, how you're feeling, and that is a great starting point to get over this man. So number 2 is creating physical distance in order to emotionally detach from him. Now, there is no possible way that I have seen. I have worked with thousands of couples, thousands of individuals at this point, where people feel like they can still be in a relationship or close proximity to someone and still get over them in a healthy manner. It's rare. And if you are doing that, it's going to take you so much longer compared to the person who is not doing that. You have to create a space where you're physically away from this person. You're not seeing them. You're not going on dates with them. You're not having sex with, You're not having sex with him. You're not stalking his social media. You're not stalking his new girlfriend. You need to create space and distance so you can calm yourself and get in a space where you can heal, emotionally detach, get over that person so you can be in a healthy relationship that you're supposed to be with in the first place. Now, obviously, if you live together or you're married or whatever, people have different situations and circumstances. I'm not here to judge. This one might be a little bit difficult for you to do. But for the people who do not live with their partner or ex-partner or a person that is trying to get over somebody that they were dating or a romantic interest, it can be hard to physically create space, but it is absolutely necessary. You cannot heal in the same environment that hurt you. Ooh, that was good. You cannot heal in the same environment that hurt you. Number 3 is seeking support from your friends and family. I am clearly aware that everybody does not have a set of friends and a set of family members that are going to give them wise counsel, that is going to hear them out, that is not going to push them to do wrong things. I completely understand that. But if you at least have one person in your family, one person in your friend group that you can talk to, it's important for you to get a support group. Find someone that you can talk to about your relationship that is going to give you advice from an objective perspective as much as possible. Because we're friends and homies, sometimes, our vantage point is a little protective of our friend and it is absolutely subjective. But as much as possible, try to find someone who's going to give you all the facts, who is going to lay it out, who's going to give you the real, who's going to say, yeah, I saw that red flag earlier and I tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen. Or nah, girl, you were the one that was wrong in this situation. So allow someone to support you on this journey, because you will have emotions. They're going to be up, down. It's going to be a roller coaster. Pop, lock it, and drop, and you're going to feel all of the emotions, okay? And that's normal. I want to validate the fact that that is normal, but you want somebody on this journey with you, because doing it alone is not going to be healthy. In most cases, it's also not going to be helpful either. Sometimes you just need to talk it out. Sometimes you just need to get it out. Sometimes you need to get everything that is in your mind and your body out to another person and allow them to support you and to tell you like, nah, girl, this ain't right. The way you're thinking about this and the perspective that you have, you need to switch it and look at it this way. So hopefully you have at least one person that you can talk to who's going to help you on this emotional journey of letting and detaching from that man. Number 4 is journaling. Stick with me. I know some of y'all are mad lazy and y'all don't like to write. You're like, I haven't wrote since I was in elementary school. Journaling is a game changer. I don't care what nobody says. I have notebooks on top of notebooks on top of notebooks on top of notebooks that have been filled with so many things of my journey over the years. The last notebook that I found was like 2016 when I started getting serious about journaling. And my journals consist of prayers. They consist of things that God told me. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. They consist of my feelings and my thoughts, just getting things out. They consist of so many different things. And what I love about journaling is it just allows you to kind of like purge and get everything that's on the inside of you out onto paper. And there's something powerful about seeing your words written in your own handwriting. And it really does help you gain a better sense of clarity. And one of the things that I love to do that I would encourage you to incorporate is when you do get a journal, because everybody should have one at this point, every single entry that you write, even if it's one sentence, a paragraph, 5 pages, whatever you write, even if it's one word, always write the date, the time, and the day. Again, always write the date, the time, and the day, because it's going to be so helpful for you when you go back and look through your journal. You can say, oh, on this day and this time, I said this and I did this. Where was I at? You can have a greater context for things that are past due. I recently went through some of my journals from 2020 until now. Okay, I'm talking about a 3-4+ years, whenever you're watching this video, process. And listen, when I tell you that it was so helpful for me to say, oh wow, on March 2nd at 1 in the morning, I wrote this, like it gives me context and it really helps me to see my progress and how far I've come. I wrote stuff back then that I was like, I can't believe I was tripping over this fool. And to feel and know where I'm at now and being in a completely different healed space is so beautiful. So journaling not only just lets you get a sense of clarity, but it allows you to track your progress. And sometimes it allows us to see if we're stuck in the same place, if we're worse off, or whatever the case may be. So allow that to be a way to assess yourself to see where you are at on this journey. And number 5, the next one is get you some business. I don't want you spending all of your days, all of your nights, all of your work days overly consumed with somebody that you are no longer with. Get you some business, boo, meaning go to work, go to school, start a business, read a book, take a course, do something that is going to encourage, edify yourself, that's going to help you grow. If you are spending all of your days worrying about what he's doing, where he's at, who he with, is he on social media, stalking his stories, doing all of that stuff, you're literally just going to drive yourself crazy. You're literally going to prolong your healing process. And you're literally not going to emotionally detach from him because you are still so intertwined. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to have thoughts and emotions are not going to come and you're not going to get flooded. Those are going to be moments, but they are fleeting. They are wave. You have so much that you need to do for you that you cannot consume yourself with him. So whether that's self-care, go out with your homegirls, do something that is going to occupy your time to the point where you won't be overly thinking about him all the time, because remember, we're trying to emotionally detach, not reattach. And before I move on to number 6, this also includes taking care of yourself. This means eating healthy. This means working out. This means writing in your journal, getting attached and connected to God. This means all of the things that you know you're supposed to be doing for your overall well-being. This means pour that into yourself. So I just wanted to add that nugget before we move on to number 6. And number 6 is actually practicing detaching from him. This is what I mean by that. Sometimes you got to see it before you see it. You heard me say that before in my other videos. You have to see it before you see it. And sometimes you have to create mental barriers that's going to help you navigate what that looks like in the real world. So what I mean by this, you have to create a mental barrier, especially if this is somebody that you want to emotionally detach from permanently. Like, this isn't a temporary situation. This isn't just a weird season where you're not going to be connected with this person. It's like, no, boo-boo, you out of my life forever. Bye. So if that is the case, see yourself with a brick wall, see yourself with a fence, see yourself with some type of barrier mentally between you and that person. So you have to imagine yourself already creating physical distance, even in your mind, in order to be able to allow that to be your natural. So if that means he calling you or he texting you or he trying to come see you or before you go to bed or whatever the case may be, you need to see a brick wall, some distance. You need to see me over here, and we need to see you all the way 5 miles away, okay? With a whole bunch of stuff in between that is going to create a barrier for you to get to me. So it's a visual thing that you need to do in your mind to help you navigate what that looks like in the natural. Because I can guarantee that if you start seeing blocks and things in between you and him, when he does try to pull up on you, or when you decide to try to pull up on him because you in your feelings one day, you are going to find it easier to be able to say, no, because this ain't working out, and I know that this isn't healthy, and I need to distance myself from you permanently. Last but not least, number 7 is seeking professional help. Y'all know I always got to add this in here because I'm a licensed therapist in real life. And so sometimes when you are getting over a man, when you are trying to break up with him, where you're trying to let things go, you're trying to heal, especially if it was something toxic or unhealthy or abusive, you need to get professional help. A lot of the time, it is almost impossible for you to go through that in a healthy manner by yourself. And I'm not just talking about your homegirls and your friends. That can be helpful, but sometimes you need somebody who knows what they're talking about, who knows what to do, and to help you get on this healing journey, because we don't want you stuck in one place, in one space in your life, unhealed. So when you do get into the next relationship, you are repeating the same patterns and habits over and over again, and you're wondering why can't I find love? Why can't I find somebody? What's going on? It's because you are still emotionally attached and stuck on this person and hasn't healed. Now the new person in your life is paying the price. So thank you so much for watching another episode of Keeping It Real with Kiaundra. I hope something that I said was helpful to you on this journey. I know breakups and I know letting people go can be one of the hardest things to do, but I want to encourage you to keep going. I want to encourage you that if you are on the right track of emotionally detaching from someone because he isn't the best person for you, you can do it, boo. And I'm here to support you and cheer you on. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.